Good evening, children. So, in the last class, we have discussed about the animal tissues, isn't it? We have seen that animal tissues are of different types based on its functions. So, we have mainly classified animal tissues into four categories, isn't it? Like epithelial tissue, connective tissue, neural nervous tissue, and muscular tissue. Okay. So, first, we have started our discussion about the epithelial tissue. We have seen that epithelial tissue is found throughout the body. They are associated with different functions, like if they contain cilia, they helps in the movement of mucus and all. They are also forming the lining in the walls of the certain organs and all, etc. Now in our today's class we will see our next type of tissue, isn't it? The next type of tissue, which is known as connective tissue. So in the animal kingdom, in the animal's body, the second type of tissue which is very important is connective tissue. Okay. So let's see what is connective tissue, where it is present, what are the different types of connective tissue, and how it helps, isn't it? What is the major role it plays in our body? So first we will see that they are most abundant. Abundant means very much in number, very much in amount. Okay, they are most abundant and widely distributed tissues in the body of complex animals. You all know that animals and plants are multicellular organisms, and since animals are associated with so many processes, they have to move from here and there, so their body is having so many organs which help them to move, to locomote, to gather food, to breathe, to excrete, to reproduce, everything, right? So we can say that animals have a very complex structure. Complex means not easy, they have a very complicated structure. So we will see that in complex animals the connective tissues are most abundant. They are found mostly in most parts of the body, and they are widely distributed. They are found in every part of the body. They are not restricted to certain part. They are found in almost every part of the animal. Okay. Then we will see that they perform the function of linking or binding. From the name itself, you can make out connective. Connective means the one which connects, isn't it? So the tissue, group of cells. So the group of cells which forms a tissue that connects. That connects means you can also say that links or that binds. And since they link, they binds, they help in supporting other tissues or organs of the body. That's why they are being called as connective tissue. Okay. For example, I am giving you one example. When you talk about buildings, okay, when you talk about buildings, you say, if somebody will ask you what is a building made up of, you will simply tell that it is made up of bricks, iron rods, etc. Okay. But the most important thing is that if in bricks there will be no holding material, right, then the bricks will fall apart. It will fall. If no binding material is present, and if somebody will ask you what is that binding material called, then you can say that it is called as cement. So cement is the binding material which brings together, which holds two bricks together. Like that, the piles of bricks have been formed, or the iron rods are linked to each other and forms a building, or else the building will collapse because there is no binding material which will hold the bricks or rods together. Okay. Similarly, in our body, if these connective tissues are not present, the cells, isn't it, the cells which are present, they will collapse, they will fall down, and they will not be able to perform their functions. That's why connective tissue is found almost in every part of the body, and they are the most abundant kind of tissue. Okay. Their function is mainly to link and to bind the different cells together, with different tissues together, different organs together, and they also support. We will see how they will support in our next further discussion. Okay. Then we can also say that cells are loosely spaced. Spaced means they have intercellular space between them, and they are embedded. Embedded means they are being suspended in an intracellular matrix. I have told you matrix is the space occupied, or the substance, or the medium in which the cells are embedded, suspended, is every cell is having inside it a matrix. So these cells of the connective tissue, they are loosely spaced, they have intercellular spaces, and inside the cells you will find a matrix, a medium. Okay. It may be a jelly medium, it may be a fluid medium, or it may be a solid medium. So the matrix medium may be liquid, jelly like or solid. Okay, so the cells are having intercellular spaces between them. Each cell encloses a matrix within it, which may be either liquid or jelly like or solid. Okay, see here I have written already. Or it may be dense and rigid. Rigid means solid, dense means very much concentrated. Okay, so this is the basic classification about the connective tissue. So that you can say that, ma'am, from the name itself, connective means which connects. What it connects different tissues, organs of the body, and since they connect, so they are found in every part of the body, and we can say that they are the most abundant kind of tissues in the animal's body. Okay, the cells are loosely arranged and they enclose a matrix within them, a medium within them, which may be either liquid, dense, jelly like, and rigid. Okay, now we will see the types of connective tissue. Types of connective tissue. So the first, we will start with our blood. The first type of connective tissue and the most important is connective tissue. Okay, the blood, you will be surprised to know that blood which we are talking about, which flows in our body every million second, every minute second, is nothing but it is a connective tissue. Now what kind of connective tissue is it? Is fluid connective tissue. Why fluid? Because it is liquid in nature. Okay, it is liquid in nature, and I have told you that all the connective tissues have matrix, isn't it? I have told you that all the connective tissue means made up of cells, so the cells of the connective tissue have matrix. Matrix means a medium. That medium may be solid, liquid, or jelly like. So in blood, that matrix is fluid, that is liquid. So that's why blood is liquid. That's why it is said to be fluid connective tissue. Okay, liquid matrix is called plasma. You all know that blood contains plasma. Okay, now these blood cells, you know that blood are cells. So this blood is a tissue, and since it is a tissue, it must be made up of cells. So blood tissue is being suspended in a matrix which is called plasma. Okay, plasma contains two types of substances. One is liquid substance that contains water 55%, and other one is blood corpuscles which constitutes 45%. Okay, in blood corpuscles you will find different type of blood cells, like RBCs means red blood cells, WBCs means white blood cells, and platelets. You all know these functions, that RBCs carries hemoglobin, WBCs produces antibody and help in defense function, and platelets helps in blood clotting. Whenever you have a cut, okay, you will see that after some time it stops bleeding. Why? Because the blood clots. Why the blood clots? Because of the presence of platelets in the blood plasma. Okay, then what is the function of blood? It helps in the transportation of gases. You all know that blood contains hemoglobin, and hemoglobin carries oxygen. Okay, so it carries gases, digested food which is being dissolved from one part of the body to another. It also carries hormones, and it also carries waste products to the different parts of the body, from different parts of the body to the kidney. It takes the waste products from different parts of the body and give it to the kidney for excretion. Okay, so we have seen the first kind of connective tissue is blood. Since its matrix is liquid, so it is a fluid connective tissue. Okay, its liquid matrix is called plasma. Plasma contains different type of blood cells like RBCs, WBCs, and platelets, and the function of the blood is in the transportation of gases and nutrients and hormones to one part of the body to the other parts of the body. The second type of connective tissue which we will see is bone. You will surprised to know that bone is also a connective tissue. Okay, but I have told you it is a matrix. Its matrix is very hard. It's solid in structure. Okay, that's why it is known as hard connective tissue. It's the hard connective tissue. Okay, bone cells are embedded in hard matrix composed of calcium and phosphorus. Why the matrix is hard? Because it is made up of calcium and phosphorus. That's why the matrix is very hard, and that's why the bone is also hard. It forms the framework that supports the body. Just before I have told you that connective tissue supports. Now you will understand how it supports. Since bone is a connective tissue, it is present throughout the body, isn't it? So it forms a skeleton, it forms a framework, and that framework supports our body. That framework helps us to stand. That framework help us to move, to locomote, to sit, to stand, to walk. So this framework supports our body. And the lastly, it is a very strong, isn't it? Bone is very strong. You cannot easily break a bone. It is a very strong and non-flexible. Can you bend a bone? No. So it is non-flexible tissue that anchors the muscles. It also anchors means it supports the muscles because it is present below the muscles, right? So it is acting as a support system for the muscles. So bones are also our second type of connective tissue, which is a hard connective tissue. Why hard? Because its matrix is made up of hard substance due to the presence of calcium and phosphorus. It forms the framework skeleton which supports the body and also the muscles of the body, and it is very strong and non-flexible. Okay. The third type of connective tissue is cartilage. Cartilage is nothing but it is a soft bone. In general terms, in simpler terms, if somebody will ask you what is cartilage, you can say that it is a soft bone. When the bone is soft, it is said to be as cartilage. Okay. So it is a soft connective tissue. Okay. It is widely spaced cells. The cells are having a very huge intercellular spaces between them. That's why they are soft connective tissue. Okay. Solid matrix composed of proteins and sugars. Okay, their matrix is solid, but it is not composed of calcium and phosphorus, but it is composed of proteins and sugars. What it does? It smoothens bones surface at joints. You know joints have cartilage. Whatever like wrist, ankle, knee. So these all joints, where the two bones joins together, that all joints are having cartilage in between them. And it is also present in the nose tip. When you can touch your nose tip and you can feel the bending of the bones, isn't it? When you touch your nose tip and if you will press it, it will be easily pressed because it is compressible, isn't it? It is flexible. Why? Because of the cartilage. Then ear, you know pinna, the outer external ear, that is pinna, is also made up of cartilage. That's why you can fold your ears. Okay. Then trachea is the windpipe through which the air enters into our lungs. Okay. And the last one is larynx, that is voice box, through which the voice is being produced. So these all are made up of cartilage. You know that when a baby is born, most of the bones are cartilage, very soft. That's why it's very difficult to hold a baby because their bones are very soft. They can easily break. That's why when a baby is born, most of the body is having cartilage. Okay, around 300 bones are being present in a baby, and when it matures, it reduces to 206 bones. That means the cartilage is fused together. It becomes more solidified in their structures and it changes to bone. So cartilage is the third type of connective tissue, which is a soft connective tissue because the cells are widely placed and the cells are having a matrix of sugars and proteins. They are generally present in the nose tip, ear tip, trachea, larynx, and also at the joints. Okay. Now the fourth type of connective tissue is ligaments and tendons. You must have learnt ligaments and tendons in the class 7 if you remember. Okay. Ligaments are nothing but they have very little matrix. I have told you in the previous discussion that matrix may be jelly-like dense or it may be little. So they have a very little matrix. Okay. And they joins one bone to another bone. Isn't it? So in the joints you can say where one bone is attached to another bone, or like wherever two bones are together. Okay, so those two bones joins one bone to another bone with the help of ligaments. Okay, ligaments you will find in the leg, in the feet you will find, okay, where the joints are there, because in the joints two bones are joined together, and those joining is being done with the help of ligaments. So ligament is also a kind of tissue, connective tissue, because it connects two bones together, but this tissue is little bit flexible. Okay, that's why you can bend your joints because it is flexible. The second type is tendons. Tendons are also connective tissue, but they are fibrous. They have a fiber-like, thread-like structures. They are connective tissues with great strength. They are very strong, but they are not flexible. They are flexible, but not as much as ligaments are flexible. Okay. Why? Because they joins muscles to bones. They are connective tissue because they joins muscles to bones. So below every muscle, bones are present, and who joins them? Tendons. Okay. So these are also the type of connective tissue: ligaments, which connects two bones together, and tendons, which connects muscles to the bones. Okay. The largest tendon in our body is Achilles tendon. You will find at the back of your feet. If you touch your feet at the back side, you will find a thread like structure, fibrous, that is the Achilles tendon, which is the largest tendon in our body. The fifth type of tissue is adipose tissue. You must have learnt about adipose. Adipose tissues means fat tissues. These are found beneath the skin, isn't it? Fat is stored generally beneath the skin, like near the waist and all. So beneath the skin it is found, and this cell stores fat. And what is the function of fat? As I've already told you in our previous chapter, that fats acts as an insulator. Okay, so that's why they act as an insulator, because they are acting as an insulator for heat. So adipose tissues are generally found beneath the skin, below the skin, and they are generally storing fat molecules, and they are acting as an insulator. Okay. The last type of connective tissue is areolar tissue. Areolar means it is also a loose connective tissue. They are found between the skin and the muscles. Between the skin and the muscles, you will see that some tissues are present. They are known as areolar tissues. Okay. They are also found in the blood vessels, nerves, and in bone marrow. Bone marrow is a substance which is present inside the bone, and that helps in the production of red blood cells, that is bone marrow. Okay. What is its function? It supports internal organs and helps in the repair of tissues. Areolar tissues, they are found generally in the internal organs because they are present in between the skin and the muscles. So they are generally associated with the repair of tissues. They generally help in the repair of tissues. So we have seen that connective tissues are of different types based on its structure and functions. Blood, which is the fluid connective tissue, which is present throughout the body. It flows throughout the body and it carries oxygen, digested food, and waste materials. Bone is the hard connective tissue which forms the framework of the body and supports the body. Okay, cartilage is a soft bone which is present at certain places of our body like nose tip, ear, trachea, larynx, etc. And they are generally flexible bones. Okay, they are present in the joints especially. Then ligaments and tendons, which helps to join bones together, and muscles with bones respectively. Adipose tissue, which are associated with storing of fat, and they are found beneath the skin. And the areolar tissue, which is also found in between the skin and muscles, and they are generally associated with the repair of tissues functions. Okay, so this is all about connective tissue. Why? Because they are connecting the different organs, different tissues, different parts of the body. Hope you all have understood this explanation.